Sarah, you okay?
Yeah, I just have a headache. It's been nonstop today.
Did I get anything wrong, Sarah?
My thing is that when that comment was made on Zeus, it was taken out of context, and that's what I was trying to explain. So the reason it was taken out is because it was a joke between production and me, and then Seven took one as a volunteer to go last. I did. Production was like, "Oh, Sarah, because you're white, it's Black History Month." Because they knew I was upset. They were trying to lighten the mood because I joke all the time. And I said, well, that's messed up. The whole month of February is Black History Month. That means I'm always last. That was it. It was a joke between me and production, just like how they played AC/DC Highway to Hell after playing Round Day. Well, then Seven took, Sarah volunteered to go last. It's Black History Month. No, I didn't. So the joke between me and production was taken out of context. And then my issue is when Seven responded online, she was like, I don't think Sarah's racist, but she lacks accountability. I said, I'm not lacking taking accountability. I'm saying I said it sarcastically, joking with production, and you heard one piece and made it seem like it was something, which makes it seem like I'm saying this in real words, as if I would say something and then go complain to Natalie. If I really said that and meant it, I wouldn't go and switch how I feel and complain to Natalie that I was last. I was ready all day long. So my that people say things to me all the time, just like how you said it in the car and like I couldn't get in, and it was literally three girls saying like Black Queens only, you can't get in, and I'm a white person and I'm the only white cast member.
I'm the only one who said it, Sarah. No one else said it.
Do what?
I said I'm the only one who said it.
Right.
No one else said it.
Seven,
my best friend didn't say it, nor did Seven. Those were the only girls that were in the car.
Well, then your friend had joined in when I was explaining why I didn't want to get in the other car. I said
because she assumed that you knew them. Like, you know, like when I was like, you know, Jalen, like, or Kadeem, one of the twins. I was like, because you were like, I don't want to be in that car. I don't know them. And I was like, Sarah, you know, one of them twins.
Think about this though. There's three girls in a car. I'm the only white person. Y'all are in the middle row. You say it as a joke. Okay. You know, one girl's laughing, and then your friend joins in and getting me to explain why I didn't want to get in the other car. So now it's almost like three.
But it's because you were already in another car. Like, it's not like you were, like we wanted to know why.
I was like starting to get in. I'm like, where's everybody at? And I was like, I want to ride with the girls. Why would I want to ride with an assistant and somebody's +1 and it's two guys? Like, that makes no sense.
Yeah. It wasn't an issue of you being in the car. We just asked, like, why?
Right.
Like, so that wasn't like and we were just making jokes of the whole situation. Like, that's when we were telling the twins, I was like, you looking like you fuck white girls. He was like, just because we went to school in Montana. Like, it was a joke. Like, everyone was like laughing. But if you weren't laughing, which you probably weren't, because you were in explain mode. Like, you were just trying to explain the situation. But like, I'm not a mean girl.
Yeah.
No one's saying you couldn't get in the car because you weren't stuck out. Like, no one locked you out or anything.
Yeah. So it wasn't that, like, I get you were joking, but in the sense it's a little 3-on-1, and I get you're joking, but when the thing happened with Seven, it was a joke between me and production. So if Seven would have been like, oh, okay, I understand, like, you and production joked and I took it as if it was serious, it would have been non-serious. But instead she was like, Sarah, you lack accountability for what you say. And I'm like, no, I'm saying that I said it sarcastically, talking to production when production said it to me as a joke. You know what I mean? So that's what I was basically explaining. Like, if she does that, it then makes me look crazy. But then people can joke with me all day and I'm not allowed to say anything.
You can say whatever you want. But I'm saying that, like, I'm not sorry, because I don't feel like I said anything really hurtful, because I literally, you were in the car within seconds of me saying that. Like, it was almost like a thing where it's like, oh, can I do this? And someone's like, no, I'm tired of you. Or like it's like just a quick reaction, but you're like, okay, I'm just kidding. Like,
right. But I think this is the difference between me and you and some of the other people. So how it happened, it was said, I never put you on blast on the internet. It was literally like, y'all wouldn't let me in the car, and I didn't even say who said it because I didn't want to make it a thing.
But you can't say that we didn't let you in the car, because we let you in the car.
Yeah, after explaining like 3 different things.
No, you were already in the car explaining. Like, no, you were not outside saying, I don't want to be in the other car. We let you in the car. And then in the back seat, you were saying like, we were like, so what's going on? You were like, I don't want to be in the other car because I don't know them. And then we were just like laughing about it because I was like, the assistant, like we've all been around him. Now, I don't think that anyone should be around someone else's plus one without that person, because that's weird and that's awkward. But no one locked you out of the car or would not allow you in the car. I swear. Like, I said it, and then we opened the door.
So it was banter back and forth, and I was standing outside when we had that conversation. And then we got in, and then that's when your friend had turned around, like, what's a big deal? And then that's when I brought it because it directly affects. And then that's when Kadeem had joined in the conversation. And then that was that. And then the laughing pretty much stopped. So the only thing I'm saying is like, you and I spoke about it. It was one thing, and I can say, okay, but I think the difference is like, I didn't take it to the internet and start writing and just say, Janelle lacks accountability because she meant it this way. Like, I would never do that because I'm not that type of person. So I know you're joking, but when it's like Sarah's joking, it then gets misconstrued a different way, and then there's online slander. So that's the difference. Like, I did say that I said it sarcastically in a whole joke with production, and production started the joke, not me. And I said, well, damn.
I mean, I understand that part. I just feel like, and then, with one happening on camera and one happening off camera, clearly people are going to like view it differently or whatever. But like, for a fact, no one didn't allow you in the car. Like, it was not, like, that's not my car. So
I know.
Like, it's not anything that I would even have control over to allow or not allow.
Yeah.
So I feel like with expressing it, like, you can't say that like we didn't let you in the car, because that would mean that we're like, nah, you can't get in for real, and like telling you to figure it out, and that's just not the case.
A back and forth, like joking on your end, like, no, because why, and then I explained myself 3 reasons why. Okay, let her in. So there was a moment. If I would have been like, okay, and then walked away, then I wouldn't have been in the car. So then at that point, I wouldn't have been in the car. But you and I were going back and forth. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not that you were joking. Yes, I get it. Because it could have been portrayed as something else. Yeah. And could I have taken it online? Yeah, I could. And I feel like things have been like that towards me on this show. So I feel like that's insensitive on my, on mine end, but not necessarily because of you is what I'm saying. Just in general, because it's a lot of back and forth. Like, that was a damn joke. Like, Seven knows it was a joke, Look, even Sarah hurt our feelings with her comments, so she needs to apologize. That's what I'm saying. You see how they just, it just doesn't.
But Sarah, you gotta not give a about these people. Like,
but how I can go online and admit, like, you said it as a joke and whatever, and yes, it was back and forth, and I was standing outside the car, and it was like, whatever.
But you weren't like I said it, and you in my recollection, and so we're just gonna have to agree to disagree on the recollection. Yeah. I don't recall you like standing outside the car, just like waiting and waiting and waiting for us to let you in, because no one was, it was not letting you in.
Back and forth quickly. It wasn't that long. It was
like
dialogue was fast, but it was, you know what I mean? You could have 10 back and forth moments all in 25.
I'm just saying, there is no part ever where in my mind it was like never in my mind did I think you weren't getting in the car.
Yeah, I got you. Unless I would have been like, okay, and then walked away, but I'm not going to do that. I was going to say, it'd be like, let me in this car.
Yeah, like, I just thought to my recollection of that night, we thought you were just in another car, and then you.
But yeah, no, I'm over it, and it's not whatever. I didn't put it online. I never said your name online. Apparently, it was said earlier. I never went online and posted anything about it. Like, I just was saying, there's joking back and forth. Like, I get it. And when people, I wish that people would give me the same respect. Like, if I joke about something and then it's taken out of context, like, it doesn't need to be like Sarah needs to be held accountable. Like, it should be like, no, it was a joke. Like, it was a joke. Just like
I understand that, but but when things are on like a show, like, no one cares about the truth. That's why you have to not give a at some point, or like know the truth and just not give a fuck about others' opinions. Because I have done shows for real, like MTV Sex on the Beach, I was depicted so crazy. Like, they completely cut things out of order. Like, completely.
Yeah.
Completely, entirely. Like, that was me dealing with a racist producer at that time. So I've been on the receiving end of like racism in TV and stuff like that. And I've had people tell me things about myself in regards to what they see on TV. And I just had to accept the fact that I'm not in the editing room. I can't control that the people aren't getting the truth. Like, I can't control that. I know what the happened in real life, and that's just what I have to deal with. Now, that doesn't mean that I didn't clap back at several people in the comments. Like, you're a human being. There's only so much you can take, but you can't obsess over what people are saying in comments, because you have to literally be like, I don't give a when am I gonna see you? Like, I really be like, when am I gonna see these people in the comments? Not never.
All these
not never. So you just have to like not care. Like, you can only defend yourself so much. You can only defend like what.
I don't respond back to comments like that. What I'm saying is like, if it's between other cast members and it's like, wait, hold up, I may engage a little pettiness because I want to get my point across. Like, you wrong. Like, say it was a joke. Don't say like take whatever. But yeah, no, I never respond to any of the negative comments. Like, you go years back. Judy's like, how do you do it? Judy literally asked me because she gets involved with certain people, and I don't respond to them. I don't engage. So it's not about the comments. It's about like, you know what I mean? What the other person that you were on a show with, like, if me and you have an understanding and then you go and say something 10 minutes later, I'll be like, Janelle, what the hell? That's when I'm talking about like, okay, that's not okay.
But you also can't help like Seven's interpretation of what she heard as well. So like, if she only heard a piece of a conversation and she goes off of what she heard, you can't call her a liar because she's going off of what she heard, but she may not have gotten the full spectrum of the conversation. And in that situation, neither person is right nor wrong, because she's speaking about things from her perspective and you're speaking about things from your perspective. That's what it is.
Somebody says like, oh, all that happened, that makes sense why you said that. And they acknowledge that that's where that came from. It didn't come out of thin air.
But I'm just saying, you really can't even expect people like commenting on clips or whatever to have common sense, because they don't.
Yeah.
Like, they're dumb as. I say this all the time. I don't care if they're my supporters. They're dumb as.
Yeah.
They don't like break down and think all the way. They don't know what it's like. Like they only have an outside viewpoint of what's going on. Like,
and I think it's hard for people to understand too. So say for instance, like 3 sisters, like blood sisters, and one sister gets on your nerves at that very moment. And if you say like, God, I can't stand her. Why does she always do this? She's cheating on her boyfriend. And then if it comes across on TV, which is different than in real life, it's never said, but then now it looks like you're fakely talking about your sister. But things like this happen in real life. They don't put all the pieces together to understand that. That's why it's so confusing.
Exactly, but that's why I don't give a fuck about, like, I'm telling you, I be telling people all the time to stop giving a fuck, and you just be happier. I don't care about how people perceive me. Now, granted, I am typically well perceived in all of the shows that I do. However, there are times when people have me fucked up, and that's what I'm saying. You can respond, because I'd be like, what the da 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 da. But at the end of the day, like, I wake up and go to sleep knowing that none of anyone's opinions have helped me pay a bill. Like, and if people, so you just have to like separate yourself out of the hoopla as well. And I just feel like people can say whatever they want to say, as long as people I know and have like access to don't disrespect me. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
And if they do disrespect me, well, then I'm gonna have something to say, and then we're gonna address it. But that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's just that racial slander is a very sensitive thing right now for a lot of different reasons. So I don't think
it is. And Sarah, you're white. Like, you have like, that's like,
I don't think it's like a thing to be played with. Like, my mom's biracial; she's white and Japanese. So with half my family being black, like, it's not okay to like joke in certain I'm not talking about you at all. I'm just saying, like, the image to people. That's why it's a sensitive subject, is what I'm saying. Because the fact that I'm all about social equality, I don't think it's okay for people to try to portray me as anything other than that, because I feel all people are equal. And I say that all the time. Like, I don't want anybody to be treated a certain way, even if it's like money wise. Like, I don't like, so I think that's why that one piece bothers me, because being the only appeared to be Caucasian on the show, when it's all the time, it's like, wow, this is exhausting. Like, it's so tiring, you know, sometimes. So that's the only thing.